Adrian here again at Thrashing Code, and tonight I've got another code challenge for you. This one, it's relatively simple, not a big complicated thing, but we're going to add some complexities to it. This is an array that stores a phone number, the individual digits of the phone number, the 3 of the area code, and then the 3 of the prefix, and then the 4 of the number itself. We are going to take that and write something that will give you the phone number out of the array. Okay, so basically this is the array as phone numbers programming problem. However, once we get that working, then we're going to internationalize it a bit. We'll add that international code, which can be a 1 up to like 999 or whatever the number is. I mean, there's only 140 something countries, but some places might get a country code even though they're sort of a country but not a country. Anyway, that can get complicated. The point is, those numbers can be 1 to 3 digits, and they preface the actual number, and the way you write it in spec is a particular way versus the way you obviously put the number into a call. So if you call, it's 1 for USA, then your area code, then your 3-digit prefix, and then your 4-digit number. For some other places, it might be like 46 for the country code, etc., and then you go through with the rest of the number. Anyway, I'm going to add another method at that time. We're going to get that internationalization in there and then get the other number, or get the number to be pulled out of the array, but then we're also going to do some validation checks and then make it go the other way, right? Have the number and then get us the array, theoretically. That's what we're going to do. All right, so let's get started with this by creating the initial project. I'm going to work through this one in C#. So I need a project. The way I'm going to do this is actually set up, I'm just going to open a folder and then set up my projects inside of that folder. So the way I do that is I click open and then go to my codes directory and then just new folder. We'll call this arrays as phone numbers. There we go. All right. And then just open that. Trust and open. Yep, that looks good. All right. Okay. Now that we have that here, you'll see it's stuck the IDEA over there, and it'll probably ask me to create a get ignore in a second. But the first thing I really want to do is just create the projects I'm going to work with. So the first one I'm going to call, it's just going to be a class library, and I'm going to call it phone. Let's just go with phone kata. And I'll go with all the default SDK there. And then let's go ahead and add our tests. Project, unit tests. And then this one, let's go with phone tests. There we go. All right. And then just to make sure it created these right, I'll go ahead and do an initial run the test, and that passed. So that looks good. I always like to start from my tests. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put in an initial test or two here and then just work from that test. So since I'm going to start with just the basic 10-digit number, like, 503 blah, 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 1212. That's the number, right? Not a big, difficult thing to think through. Let's go with test, and then we'll parameterize it like this. Let's go with, call it fixed test. We'll pass in the int array, which is what we want to pass in, an array of the numbers of the phone number. And then we'll just call that numbers. And then return, since this is like a code kata, I'm going to kind of just go with kata as the object, or what'll be the class, I guess. Whoops. Kata, which isn't created, as you can tell. And then I'm going to call it, like, we just want to make a phone number, right? So let's say create phone numbers, or it's just one at first. So you just do numbers, and then we pass in the numbers. That's the array of numbers. So then that should return to us the phone number based on the individual numbers in the array. So the array should have 10 items indexed in the thing, and then we should be able to pull those out in order and get a phone number out of it. Now we need to go up here, but let's actually do this, because what I'm going to do is do like a parameterized test case, like unit test here. But so that I get autocomplete and such, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a class type here, and then we'll go up. We'll give ourselves a method. Yep, create a method, and that's pretty good, except we know that we'll want to have a string pretty much for that, because the numbers will be put together into the number, which will be like a string format and parsed out into the thing. It's that. So let's see if we're going to do this. What does this say? Change that method fix test to string. What did I do? Oh yes, do that. That's right. Okay, and then we'll do test case, and this we'll want to pass in. Basically, want to pass in an array with the numbers in it, right? As an example. So let's go with new int array. Did that do that right? I guess it did. Yeah. Okay. And then that, and then we'll go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. That'll give us 10 digits. And then we want to do an expected result, which will be the string that we want back from the thing. All right, so since I'm going to get this in the format here, 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then what did I do? I did 1 for 10. So wait, what did I miss? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. I feel like I missed a number. Let's put in a 0, and then we'll go over here, pass in a 0, like so. Okay, there we go. So that's the 10-digit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm already doing this. I don't have this yet. We'll add that in a second. We'll start with this. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like that, right? 7, 8, 9, 0. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is silly. Anyway. All right, now I got it. So that should test true. If we run this, obviously it's going to break right now, but it should build and it should just error out. Yep. Okay. Because it's not implemented, obviously. So we need to implement round 1 here of the actual method implementation. So what would that look like? So the basic idea here, since I'm returning a string, is just return string.format. Let's see what again. Is it parens? And then there's just the dash. So I'll do the first digit. What did I? Phooey. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I gotta parens this. Boom. Okay, there we go. Now I can interpolate the things here. So the first 3 would be 0, 1. Come on, 1, and then 2. So that's that'll be the first 3, and then there's a space, and then 1, 2, 3, and that'll be 3, 4th digit, 5th digit. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll be 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, or 10th digit, because it's a 0-based index, of course. So I think that Is that going to do it? Is it going to do it? Let's see here. What is this fussing about? Use type keyword? Oh, type, yeah, string, not the uppercase one. And then, what is this saying? The suggestion, add argument? Oh, yes. Whoops. Yes. And then what we want to do here is format that, and then now we're going to add the arguments, numbers, and that'll be the first one. Actually, let's copy. Oops. Yeah, copy that, and then first digit. Oh, there's got to be a faster way to type these out. Maybe. Oh, I could just do. Let's see here. Number 1, 2, 3, and then I'm just going to copy that one. Oops. Then we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that should succeed. That should give us the string output of the array numbers. So let's see if it does. No, failed. String lengths are both 14. Strings differ at index 9. Well, wait a second. What's my test? String is the output. Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just did that. It is right, but I need the dash, which is part of the spec for a phone number. If I run that and boom, success. All right, so we have the actual implementation now, and we have the first test. All right, so that is cool beans and gravy. Now, let's add internationalization. I think we should add that first and see where we get. All right, so bouncing right back into the code here. The first thing we want to do if we add internationalization is just add this like so. So that will immediately break the test, but the test will be testing for internationalization. And let's add a little 1 up here like that. And that'll give us the internationalization. So in here, the easiest way to add that would be to come in and put in a plus. Then, actually, let's do this. And then it's space, right? And then put in the parens. Get rid of this parens, 1, 2. And put in the other parens now. And that's spaced out for 5, 6, and then the new one is here, and then final place is 10, right? And then we go down here, and we'll add numbers 10. All right, so we now have 11 numbers in our array. And you might already be thinking, well, okay, this is not going to work for anything past 1, but you know what? We at least get a passing test. However, okay, so what happens if we have this number, right? And then let's do test case, and we're going to say something like, what is another? Another one would be like, I know there's a bunch of them out there. Let's go with, I'm trying to think of one that's actually real. Like Denmark is 45. We'll put in Denmark over here just to say, and then this would be 45, like so, right? Now if I run this, what is going to happen? It's going to bomb out, right? No, it passes. Oh yeah, okay, so it's just going to put in that array value no matter what. So that works. I've added internationalization by simply just shifting off by one or shifting over by one and then adding that there with the plus. The plus is part of the spec, by the way. For the internationalized number. I looked at the spec and it gets kind of trippy because having parentheses or the pluses or the minuses or whatever is pretty important to the actual phone number. But when you dial it, especially in any modern phone that is, you just put in the number and all the other little pieces are added in there for you, really. So it's a little trippy how the spec is versus what you put the number in. But suffice it to say, this is the format that we're going for. Now the question is, okay, we're getting the phone number in a nice little string with the formatting, the parens, the plus, etc., and the dash. But what happens if we have that and we want to go the other direction, right? That is the question. That's where, like, you don't just unformat the string, right? You have to actually go the other way. But for our tests would be pretty straightforward, right? Because we just do another test and then, so here we'll get a test case in here. And let's go with these two test cases. And we'll just actually flip these suckers around by doing public string blurp this. Oh, and this will just be a string phone number. And then we'll put in that. That should format it and then return. Oh, don't want string here. We want int array return null, and that should break. And also we want to turn this around. So this is going to be our string, right? And then we take our array, and that's what's going to be expected. Yeah, just like that. Boom, boom. Oh, I did that where I did it. Be tricky in my copying the string back. Okay, so there, and we know this is going to utterly just bomb out, right? Obviously it's going to bomb out. There's no way that would work, right? So let's pop that out. Failed, expected this, but was null. Okay, let's give this an actual name instead of my blur of additive. Let's call it encode test. Then let's get rid of this, and we're going to put in kata, and we'll do an encode phone like that, and then we'll pass the phone number into the thing, and we want to build that method now. Create method. All right, and that looks good. Okay. So now the other thing I'm going to do real quick here is I'm going to take this kata class, and I'm going to go ahead and put it over here in this class 1, like so. There we go. And now the IDE, of course, is going to know I need that referenced. Okay, so that fixed that. So now I have my class over in the class and the test in the test project. And if I run the two tests just to get everything built again, boom, one that bombed and then the other one passes. So how do I get this back encoded into an array of ints? That is the question. The other thing that I actually want to do is I do kind of want to gate some of the data that's coming into my methods here, right? So for example, if like with the digits in the array 1 through 11 or 1 through 10, I want to make sure that those are ints between 0 and 9. Okay, so each number within the number should be through 0 and 9. And the internationalized one could be 1, it could be 45, it could be 206, or whatever the internationalized number code is for the particular phone number you're trying to dial. So I want to do some if gates to check for that, validate them, and then, provide a message of some sort or something like that that would say this is an error. and then spit that out. So that's the other thing that I want to add kind of while I'm doing this other method. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and implement the encode method here. I'm going to get rid of the throw not implemented thing because we're implementing it, and then get into it here. All right, so first thing I want to do is let's get a string cleaned number. I want a string that's going to be just the number cleaned up. I'm going to remove things and just have the digits, right? I just want the digits. I don't want anything else. So I'm going to say new string, and then in here I'm going to take the phone number, which I want cleaned up, and then do a little bit of, let's see here, where, how do I do this? Something, is it, since it's a string, yeah, each thing is a character. And then can I do just like oh yeah, oh, .NET. Sometimes I just love .NET beyond all recognition. Or I should say the C# libraries, not particularly .NET itself, but C#. This stuff is written out in a pretty smart way. Yeah, okay. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to if I was going to have to do a check, or if I was going to have to like do a particular thing to feed it into the array, but the pieces are there for me. So that's going to be the cleaned up number. Wait, can I go ahead and do like int like that? No, okay. It needs to be a string because it's using the string functions. Right? Maybe I can do, no, it's an array of string cards. Yep, okay. So that should work. And then if cleaned number dot length is less than 11, but clean number dot length is greater than 13, throw, argument, fiddlesticks, argument exception, invalid. Is that actually right in between 11 and 13? So that should give the area code up to 3 digits. Yeah, okay. Invalid phone number format. Okay, and then what? Why is it fussing about the argument? Oh yeah, because I gotta still do stuff. Let's do return phone number or something like that. Dot toString. No wait. Dot. No wait. Let's just go with int blah. Will that? No, that was stupid. We'll do new int. I just want it to give me correct autocomplete. So if I do that, yeah, okay. So that should fix things so that I can do this. Throw. Oh, I know what I did. New. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, because it wasn't already statically created. It needed to be instantiated. All right, so then the next thing we need to do is, let's see, we need to identify the country code length, and it's 3 digits. Okay, and I just wrote this comment because it just helps me remember exactly what I'm doing here. So we're going to do country code length equals cleaned number dot length minus 10. Okay. So and then what we want to do after that is, do I want to do this yet? Yeah, let's go ahead and create an array for the result. And that should be an int, and then numbers. And we'll do new int. What did I do there? Okay. And then for perf reasons and whatever else, let's go ahead and declare the size as 11, because we know it's going to be 11. I'm really just not hitting the right keys today. And then parse the country code and store it as a single element. So numbers, take that country code and let's parse it. Should I try parse? What does that do? Try parse. Parse, let's go with parse. Clean number, substring. So wait. Yeah, so we do clean the clean number, and we take the first bit, and we do it by the country code length. Okay, so that's going to yank that off the string, right? Yes. Just thinking it through, making sure I'm thinking it through, that I'm thinking it right. Yeah, so that should grab that beginning substring based on how long the country code is, right? So basically whatever is left over from the length minus 10, so the 10 is the 10 digits of the area code, the prefix, and the phone number. And with those removed, whatever's left, which is what this is doing, is basically taking the remnant initial characters and making that the first number there. So, okay. And the int parse is turning it into an int, right? So that it can be put into the int array. Yes. All right. And then for the rest, int I equals 0. I is less than 10 because 10, or wait, do I do 9, 11? Yeah, 10 because I've already got I took the thing off. And then I plus plus. And why did I mess up something here? Oh. Got to end the statement there, and then braces. Well, it does not like. Well, here I'm just gonna write parse. What am I doing? I'm parsing the remaining phone number digits. Okay. And this would be numbers. I plus 1 equals. So that should increment through the array as we move through the for loop, and I want to put in each of the numbers, parse each of the numbers from the clean number, and then the country. No, why is it control? What am I typing? Country length plus I, so minus the country code basically, and then from that point count through the clean number. Right? Yeah, it should work. ToString. Yep. Is that right? Okay. Whoa, wait a second. Am I actually? I feel like I should have more errors still. So, and then return the numbers. Okay, so based on this, I think I have it. What is this lesson about? What is it? Oh yeah, it likes to do the. I don't know why the practice is to write vars. I mean, it doesn't. You get to see the type on the left when you're reading from left to right, but you do admittedly know what type it is based on what you're instantiating it as or assigning it as. Like right here, this is obviously going to be, an int because length is an int minus 10, which is an int. So int minus int is going to be int. And then of course the IDE puts right here int, which is a little, I don't know, the whole var thing is a little funny to me sometimes. It's very useful in certain situations, but like in that situation, it's just weird to me that's like a stated spec standard or something. So with that though, I don't know, I feel like I've missed something and like this shouldn't pass. But let's see here. It almost happens too fast. So hey, I got it. There we go. We've implemented these two things. However, the other thing that I need to add here is up here. We need to check for a few things. We need to say, let's see here, int country code equals numbers. Get this puppy into its own value to work with. And then let's say if country code is less than 1, or country code is less than 999, oops, 999, or what, yeah, greater than 999, then that should return invalid phone number. And this, then I can check all the other numbers too. So let's do for int digit index. Why did that just say digit? And that's weird. I don't know why it decided that needed to be the name, but whatever. Digit index 1, then digit, because that'll leave off the 0 index of the array. Digit index is less than numbers dot length, and then digit index plus plus. Why is it saying, oh, it just grayed out the whole thing. Okay, int digit equals numbers, digit length index. So that gives us each individual digit to work with as we go through the for loop, and then we can check and say digit. This digit is greater than 9, and we want to return invalid phone number. So that means if that means, what that means, I've got the checks in there now. So if I go in here and add a crazy number, let's see here. All right, equals new int, boom. And then the expected result is, we're going to say what did I write? Invalid phone number, right? That is what I wrote in the thing, I think. Yeah, invalid phone number. Okay, so that should be correct. So if I do 0, and wait, let's do 46, I think is Sweden, Denmark, Sweden, Norway. Yeah, I think that's the order of them. So we're going to use a Sweden 6, and then we're going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So that should, on this one, that should make it trigger that error message or warning message. So let's just run that test. And yeah, it did. Okay, cool. So, yep. Well, I thought it should show whatever. Okay. That's what we expected though. And then down here though, yeah, it should just do that on the fixed, on the create phone number in the fixed test. I don't know why I call it that, but anyway. All right, so that gets us done. So now we have an encode and basically a decode. Create phone number is a decode. Encode and a decode of an array to a string, an arrayed phone number of ints to the string formatted per the spec. If you want to dig into the spec, what is it? It's 123 E.123 and E.164 for international numbers. So one's the specification for phone numbers and one's specification for internationalized phone numbers. So you can look up those specs to see more about it if you want to go further with this example and like really do some encoding and decoding of phone numbers. And It's not uncommon in some of the more hardcore phone apps to see things where like the phone number is encoded as an array or something, some weird format like that. But anyway, so now we have that where it's array to a string in the formatted spec, E123164 spec. And we also have it where we take the spec string phone number and spit it back out into the array of its respective 11 parts. So internationalized numbers with the respective arrayed parts. With that, this wraps up the intro video of working through this problem in an artisanal, bespoke, handcrafted, mechanical keyboard kind of way. Now, in the next session, as I have done so far and will continue to do, will be, what does AI give us? The only question is what should I use? Is it going to be Claude? Is it going to be ChatGPT? Is it going to be Copilot? I don't know. Figure it out in just a minute. So go check out the blog entry, go check out the other pieces, and then join me in the next video, which I'll link up here in one of these spots. Cheers.